Presumably you were gripped by every one of the 120 minutes. What was your highlight of the match?
I'm going to make a confession.
No.
Don't tell me
I
you
didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
What
But
on earth?
I checked, and when I saw it was going to penalties, I watched the penalties.
How proud are you of England?
I'm thrilled they won. Absolutely
What were
thrilled.
you doing then? Were you, like, knitting yogurt or... what were you...
I was reading
what
the
were
papers.
you doing instead
I
of
was
watching?
reading the
You
papers,
chose to
catching
read the
up.
papers?
Yeah, I just...
Rather than watch
I
this
don't do
historic
football.
moment.
I wouldn't, if
Can I
it was
just
the
say this has
blokes...
turned out to be a bit of a dampener?
Can I say...
we don't care
Yeah.
what you were doing
If
when
it
you
was
weren't
No.
watching England winning
This
the
is-
Euros for the second
this isn't
time
a sexist
in
thing.
succession.
If it had been
Our
the
first
men-
time on international
You
soil
wouldn't have been
ever.
watching either.
I wouldn't have been watching it. I watched the men a couple of when they were in the final recently, and I nearly lost the will to live. It's so
But
boring.
because they didn't win.
Yeah.
Because
Penalties.
They tend not to win.
Well, you
Yeah,
missed
I'm thrilled they won.
out.
And
It
I'm very
was
thrilled for
great.
Chloe.
Yes,
She
Kevin,
put
you
the penalty in the
described
back of the net in
It was.
brilliant
what
style.
it was like.
And the women can score from win by penalties and the men can't.
I know. And the thing is, I don't know whether you know this, but the team who scores more penalties gets the trophy.
So I gather. What I do know, not only have they won back-to-back, but it's the first time England or a British team has won an international trophy
football.
up abroad.
I know.
So that's quite
and
something.
And you managed to make that sound really boring. But it's actually quite a landmark and a great celebration.
I was saying that I was born in 1967, a year after we won the World Cup. All my life, I've been waiting for us to win at football, and we've now done it twice. And the women have shown the men how to do it.
Absolutely brilliant.
Like waiting for buses, ages for one, then two.
And the country's miserable at the moment, let's be honest. This will cheer people up
Yeah, so we
a
need
lot.
this joy. Should we take a look at Downing Street at the moment? Because we can see how they have got the flags out to celebrate already. There we are. There's going to be a reception today.
Now, Charlotte, I think it's really important at this moment. This is your stage. This is your platform. Make the case for the bank holiday.
For the bank holiday? Well, I just think, look, they've had back-to-back Euros victories. This is of huge significance. It would be great, as Andrew was saying, we need this moment of joy for the country to come together and celebrate with a bank holiday.
Any chance?
No.
None whatsoever. It's never happened ever.
If we're going to have another bank holiday, and I think we don't have enough. We have 8, which is relatively small number compared to other countries in Europe. We should have had one for VE Day and the celebration of that generation rather than the football. We can celebrate the football. And if the men had won, I'd take the same view. I know Keir Starmer, when he was in opposition and the women were going to win, he said, oh, there should be a bank holiday because he didn't have to call it then.
Well,
but he said it now.
Yeah, I know, but if you called it now, when will you have it? You have it next week? Well, you've missed the moment because the parade will be tomorrow to Buckingham Palace along the Mall and the bus.
Are they going to... What's more likely? Are they going to get gongs? OBEs?
They should definitely be honoured.
Is there going to be a Dame?
Oh, yeah.
The manager?
Yes, the manager.
Honorary David, definitely.
Yeah, I think so, because I remember when England won the Rugby World Cup, they all got a goal.
Yeah, well, if you think of it, though, Gareth Southgate...
And that will come from the Prince of Wales, will be the perfect person to give it to them.
Gareth Southgate got the men to 2 Euro finals, unfortunately lost both. He is now Sir Gareth.
Yeah.
She's got a CBE, although because she's Dutch, and you must hear
She can have an honorary knighthood.
You'd have seen she doesn't sing the God Save the King,
Didn't she?
the national, because she's Dutch. Didn't
Outrageous.
make any difference.
Outrageous. Why didn't she?
Doesn't make any difference.
The Prince of Wales was in the flipping audience, wrong word, in the crowd.
In the audience.
In the crowd.
In the audience, yeah, with his prawn
He wanted to
cocktails.
sit in the stalls,
Was
but
there
he
an
couldn't get a
interval?
seat, so he went in the upper circle.
Was there an interval or was it half-time?
Anyway, she's got a CBE, or a ready, I think it is, but they'll make her a Dame, but it has to be honorary because she's not British, but that's fine.
Yeah. Andrew said to me that he was surprised the ball was round. He thought it was that kind of like oval shape.
11 players, apparently.
Yeah.
And she was a substitute, Chloe.
Yeah.
Super sub. Super sub.
I would just like to say this. It's so unusual these days, but when I was little, on big finals, they were always live on BBC and ITV at the same time.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you have to decide which channel to watch. And back in the old days, you would have to choose between John Motson on the BBC and
in his overcoat,
who had been maybe it was Barry Davies doing it on ITV. So yesterday, for the first 2 minutes, I watched both sides, BBC and ITV, and I've got to say, totally neutral, objective. ITV won the commentary battle, hands down. Easily the best. It was brilliant.
I watched on ITV. I was at a house, Claire and SJ's house, and there's a big group of people, mainly women, it's got to be said, and they just put ITV on to watch it. And I thought it was good.
Who was the woman commentator?
Got the moment.
Who was the woman commentator when the penalty went in, when we'd won? who said back-to-back, that's the English way of doing it. She was so excited and she was terrific.
Well, that's what I love, when they just encompass that joy in a
Well done, ITV.
She really got it spot on. And the atmosphere, she reflected the atmosphere in the stadium, get it?
Rather than the theatre.
Yes, yeah.
In the royal
I'm
circle.
thrilled. And I think they should get a gong. And
they won it on the first day.
And potentially a bank holiday. Just to go back to the bank holiday, people are getting in
Thursday?
touch to say, we've got Michael who says, yes, please, to a bank holiday.
Oh.
Tony says, my nerves need a bank holiday. I think after watching that, it was
nerve-wracking,
everyone was on edge, weren't they? We are going to put a poll up on X. It is up now, I'm reliably informed. So do take part. Let us know whether you think there should be a bank holiday to celebrate.
But there is going to be a big parade tomorrow, and that is
a moment to come
day
together.
of celebration.
And they're going to go to the palace.
I
think they meet the King. They meet the Prince of Wales.
When my daughter never played football. I mean, she did once, but it was so painful to watch. It wasn't repeated. My son's played football. When they played,
She might be watching.
She's shattered. I saw it.
She probably thought she was very good.
Kevin, I thought they were all... again. Let's erase that.
Yeah, I thought they were all shutting their eyes when the ball came anywhere near.
Was she hopeless because she was a girl?
No, because she'd never been coached properly, and I used to try and get her to
He's
play
digging
down
a
the
hole
park.
here.
I used to try and get her to play in the park, and she wasn't interested. But
my daughter, 21, played for university, definitely the best footballer in the family, totally inspired by the Lionesses.
I've seen you play, so I can see them his best. Yeah.
My daughter,
but you
age 10, she's now doing girls' football, and that is the one thing as well that's come out of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
That actually girls' football, women have now got something to aspire to say, yes, that you can go into football and get that
boys.
success.
We can aspire to be like the women.
And that is the point I was coming on to make, in case you think I'm being Sid the sexist.
I think
and I know as well why
you were just dumping on your daughter.
There'd be some girls playing, and then you saw more girls playing. And since the first Euro trying for the women, you just see parks are full of girls playing football. And it's absolutely fantastic, because it's a brilliant sport.
There'll be girls and boys now, next season, doing the Chloe Kelly run-up.
Yeah.
The penalties, when she does
like a little hop and a skip.
Yes, that was interesting.
It's almost like balletic, isn't
That's her trademark, isn't it?
It was the most brilliant penalty she scored last night.
It was phenomenal.
Top corner.
Yeah.
Superb.
Well, you take a risk,
Stuart, I can't believe you're not taking the opportunity to show the penalty
And the goalkeeper.
again.
We shouldn't forget the goalkeeper for saving the penalty.
We were saying that Hannah Hampton did a
Watch this.
sensational
There's
job.
the
There we go. Look,
That is
honestly,
such a good penalty.
it was a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's such a great penalty. Such nerve in that moment, just to do that.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, listen, we are going to be talking about this all morning. We've got the former Lioness, Eni Aluko, will be joining us, and also Gurinder Chadha, the Bend It Like Beckham director. Now, of course, there are talks of a sequel in the offing, now that everyone's talking about
Are they
football,
going to have a
so we'll talk
party?
to
Do you think they had a big party last night? I hope they did.
Party.
I hope they did.
So there might be some, because they'll be turning up at Downing Street today, won't they? So we'll see how they're all
today,
looking.
because the Prime Minister's going to Scotland.
No, but that is the point. They are being hosted in Downing Street by Deputy Prime Minister
Course.
Angela Rayner.
She doesn't
and
miss
the
a trick.
Sports Minister Steph Peacock. Poor old Keir Starmer
All women.
would love to be.
Yeah, of course.
President Trump, isn't he?
He's a football fan.
He's up in Scotland being berated about wind farms.
Yeah, and talking about golf courses.
Because Donald Trump is on a private visit to his golf courses in Scotland. It's not an official visit, although, of course, there's massive police and security and all that kind of stuff.
A third of all the police resources in Scotland are being deployed to protect the man.
But Trump is... I mean, there's a corruption the way he blurs his public duties.
He keeps referring to that golf course as the best golf course in the world. What's it called?
Turnberry. But it's also quite right, the Prime Minister sees him, because you've got to have relations to him. I don't like it when he's bending the knee and sucking up to him.
But we've got to talk trade.
You've got to talk Gaza.
And the EU president was there yesterday. He made a special trip. I mean, he considers this as a private visit. He's
and that then led to a deal, didn't it?
Well, there's certainly the framework for a deal. And don't forget, we've got the state visit in September.
Oh, I do have it all over again. How lucky we are.
Well, it'll be a lot more high-powered in September.
Did you see the moment? I'm not sure whether we've got a clip of this, where Donald Trump is he's stepping onto the golf course, and his caddy, who is normally the person who carries your clubs around for you, the caddy surreptitiously drops the ball in just the right position for the Donald. Here it comes.
Yeah, watch closely. There you go. He just throws the ball behind him.
Is that...
And then Donald steps up to hit it.
Oh, God.
It is, no.
That's outrageous.
I mean...
There's a bit of sleight of hand going on there,
I think he's just a cheat in everything in life, isn't he?
He just has to win, doesn't he?
I bet you turned around and said, Mr. President, it was so brilliant of you to miss the bunker and to have such a good lie. And, of course, he'd just put the ball just outside the bunker.
And did he get the putt in?
That isn't a
Sneaky.
putt.
No, that's in the... Yeah, sorry. The putt's when you're on the green.
Look, I know as much about golf as I do about football.
The putt is when you're on the lawn.
Oh, yes, that's right. I've never played golf. I haven't played football since I was 10. I was terrible.
They say to us in our morning meeting, you've got to talk sport with Andrew Pearce.
And you think, what?
No chance.
What about croquet?
I always say about sport, what I know about sport, you could write in the back of a postage stamp that's been shrunk. Twice.
But you do know
about
Donald Trump.
Yes.
And, you know, the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, saying, you know, you're a great negotiator, Donald Trump. They've struck this deal. The truth is this deal just means there's going to be a big rise on tariffs, taxes on all European exports going to America. It's not as big as it would have been because Donald Trump said it's going to be even bigger. The idea this is good news. I mean, this is bad news for American consumers and for European companies. We're in the same boat. I think our tax is 10% on our exports to America. In Europe, it's 15%. On steel, it's still much higher than that, 25%. The idea that we're celebrating these deals are just a tax on American consumers and British companies and European companies. It's not good news at all.
No, but the world's dealing with a man-toddler in the White House. And you give him a bit of slaver and you say, oh, you're great. You get better relations with him. But you're right, the deal the UK got is slightly better, we think, than the deal the European Union's got.
Which he despises, by the way.
Yeah.
So I agree with him on that.
Well, it's a big trading bloc that's powerful enough to challenge him while we're not. But let's not pretend these are great deals for the UK or Europe or around the world. Or, as you say, American consumers, because you put 15% on imports, he can collect the tax, but who's going to pay the price? Because it'll be passed on. It'll be American consumers when they go to buy
Watching
stuff.
the meeting with von der Leyen, the European Commission president, she hardly got a word in. He dominated completely from beginning to end. She barely got to speak. It was quite extraordinary.
But of course, they want him on other issues. They want him on Ukraine. Yeah. They want him on defence. They will hope, Starmer will hope, he can put pressure on him to get him to lean on Benjamin Netanyahu, who's the only person...
They have to have him on side in order for him to be able to facilitate making those situations
Yes, and it's demeaning the way you have to do it with him, but...
Netanyahu,
if you're going to do it, you want results.
It's very interesting the position Keir Starmer is now in on this issue of the Gaza ceasefire. It's reported in the papers he's hoping to put pressure on Donald Trump to push the Israelis to talk about a ceasefire. But as part of that, there is now a political row, an international as well as a UK row, about whether the state of Palestine should be recognised. You can't have a two-state solution, which is what everybody says they want, unless you recognise Palestine as a state. And the vast majority of countries in the world do, but not America, Britain, historically France, Australia, other European countries. Keir Starmer is, I think, caught between the Americans not wanting it to happen now, him thinking France has gone too early, that internationally we don't want to do this until we feel that Israel is really ready to talk and to get the leverage right. They're worried about looking like they're giving a fillip to Hamas.
Right.
On the other hand, you've now got, in the British cabinet, you've got Wes Streeting calling for it, Shabana Mahmood calling for it. It's reported Hilary Benn, other cabinet ministers.
And Angela Rayner.
And Angela Rayner as well, because they all fear
she hasn't said it publicly,
that the politics of this is becoming toxic for Labour domestically. Does Keir Starmer stick with being the international statesman, holding back while he waits for the right moment, or does he become the political leader who thinks, I've got to do this, because if not, we're going to lose out to the Greens and the new Corbyn party,
and the
who are all saying,
Muslims.
Do it right now.
Yeah, and think about, I'm sure that they're doing it for the right reasons, but Wes Streeting, Shabana Mahmood, who's the Justice Secretary, Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, they've got big issues with the independent Muslim vote in their constituencies. They've now got marginal seats. Their votes pretty much collapsed last time, so they're looking over their shoulder the whole time. Starmer's got a real problem here because what's he going to go to the United States, go to Donald Trump today and say, you're wrong about Palestine and recognition of an independent state? It doesn't matter what we think, frankly. it's only Trump who's got the power to make those decisions.
But he's caught between the international politics and the domestic politics. He's got a cabinet... There's an emergency cabinet meeting, one unusual one.
He's recalling it this week, isn't he?
Exactly, being recalled this week, because he knows around the cabinet table, lots of his colleagues are saying, for domestic reasons, politically, you've got to move on this, because we can't be in a position where the Daily Express is splashing on the starvation of children in Gaza 2 days last week.
And half his
But it looks like Keir Starmer is dragging his feet on what now hundreds of members of Parliament are calling for, which is to recognise
this is about doing the right thing and being the right side of humanity and the right side of the politics at the same time. And that is to recognise Palestine as a state, because it's quite clear the most reactionary, extremist government in Israeli history has no intention of Palestinian states between the river and the sea. It's pursuing its own policy of not allowing a Palestinian state to exist. It was in the Labour manifesto to recognise a Palestinian state. It's been the long-standing position of successive governments, including the Conservatives.
Including the Americans as well.
But it's always when the time is right. And that's just a way of putting it off.
Yeah, well, look,
always putting it off.
Trump will take this view that Netanyahu takes the view, Hamas is still operating.
That's right.
It's still operating as a terror organisation that wants to eradicate Israel from the international map.
No, it's
so
bigger.
While that,
but there are many members of the Israeli cabinet who want to eradicate the Palestine as a state.
But you also have the West Bank, which is an East Jerusalem, unlawfully occupied by Israel, where you have more and more settlements. Must be 500,000, 600,000 Israeli settlers now in that Palestinian territory. And they're colonising that area. So it's not just Gaza and Hamas. You know, the pogrom was absolutely horrific.
But that is Trump's position.
It didn't happen in a vacuum.